Hello, the internet, and welcome to another episode of The Spit Take. My name is Jack O'Brien. I'm the editor-in-chief of Crackton. You can tell a lot about a people's priorities by the number of cliches they've invented for a given scenario. We're metaphorically prepared for a satisfying meal to hit the spot or scratch us right where we itch, and can describe people who get the best of us in financial transactions with no less than 20 uniquely offensive comparisons to the giving and taking habits of persecuted ethnic minorities.
Sammy, tell us you motherfucker over here to pay that market.
Vicky, you're not listening to me. I'm here to help you.
What about when we want to describe a great marriage, or the songwriting of Lennon and McCartney, the NBA jamming of Tim Hardaway and Chris Mullins? We either say they go together like peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and chocolate. Peas and carrots being disqualified for just making no goddamn sense. While PB&J's and Reese's peanut butter cups are delicious, so is peanut butter and crackers, marshmallows, celery. Peanut butter goes well with everything, and chocolate tastes good on everything and nothing, so you can stop announcing your authorship of every peanut butter cup you sell with an apostrophe S, Reese. You're not Hitchcock. But if cliches do tell us something about who we are as a people, as I arbitrarily suggested a minute ago, shouldn't we have one for Riggs and Murtaugh? Today I bring you a series of candidates you had no idea went together so well, you have to go read both of their Wikipedia pages from top to bottom. For instance, instead of peas and carrots, may I suggest that we go together like watching bears discover hammocks for the first time is like being a new parent, seeing something through the eyes of your curious, fairly stupid child. It also makes you realize that bears are just the best. Giant, toddler-shaped dogs with the coordination of a shit-faced Andre the Giant. But when they figure out the hammock, they f***ing nail it. If you told me that bear installed that hammock himself, and the only piece of evidence was this video, I would literally have no choice but to believe you.
I've been a professional stuntman and stunt coordinator for 18 years. I'm also a magician and an expert in gambling cheating.
Turns out you can't appreciate the nonchalance it takes to pull off a card trick and the desperation of every flaming stuntman who's ever wandered through the background of your movie until you've seen them combined in the same desperate person. Veteran stunt coordinator and self-proclaimed expert at cheating at cards, Steve Truglia decided to make sure we didn't have to go through life wondering what a 250-pound man standing perfectly still while doing birthday party magic while engulfed in flames would look like.
Today I'm going to be performing the world's most dangerous card trick.
Would you like it, please? Steve starts his sleight of hand trick well. But as he approaches the last card, his calm appears to falter.
The answer? Like he really doesn't want to be doing either of those things. Still, it's hard to say that Truglia's display isn't impressive, even though his magic trick is essentially just trying to pull all 4 aces out of the deck before the flames overtake him. But it actually elevates what would normally be the most underwhelming card trick in the universe to something you can't take your eyes off of. Horse riding is considered the sport of kings. Yoga, the white guy dreadlocks of sport. Not the types of things you'd think to put together any more than you'd try to take a spin class with an elk or jazzercise with a crocodile, and yet
es una técnica que se utiliza para amansar al caballo sin recurrir al castigo. El indio Pampa, gran interpretador de los signos de la naturaleza.
How have we not made a movie about this guy showing up in the Old West where everyone was impressed if you could get a horse to come by whistling at it?
Comunicación gestual y sensitiva con el caballo.
Imagine how hard that horse's cowboy would take off his hat and stomp on it right here. And here, and there, and just everywhere he appears to be seducing and kissing that horse on the neck, which is a line I usually ask my yoga instructor not to cross. And now imagine that cowboy's grimace slowly melting into a look of wonder. I mean, it's hard to convince horses to do anything, much less lie on their backs. That's the whole point of the rodeo. As creepy as it looks at first, you can't ignore the social currency of being able to put your horse on the ground and do a handstand on its chest. That pretty much guarantees every eye at the party will be on you. By the end of that display, I like to imagine that even that cowboy would have to pick up his hat and spit in it, the universal cowboy sign of respect. He'd be standing over the guy's bullet-riddled body, having calmly emptied, refilled, and re-emptied his revolver into him when that fancy handstand business gave him a clean line of sight. But in the end, he would have learned something about his horse, so we all win. That is it, my friend. No more yoga today. The question isn't whether he's gonna f that horse, but why I'm so okay with it. Pulling out a ventriloquist's dummy is the fastest way to make people scatter without tear gas, but Miss Ohio Mackenzie Bart has chosen to combine ventriloquism with the storied tradition of the Miss America pageant.
Ugh, what's that word again? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
Having your hand up the ass of a sassy insult comic is a bit of an odd fit for the studied blandness of pageant culture.
I'm very blessed to be surrounded by a very supportive and very loving family and friends.
I think we can relate this back to education. I think there are some movies that depict women in a very positive role, and then some movies that put them in a little bit more of a negative role.
There's actually a tradition of Miss America ventriloquism acts.
That's so romantic. Oh, brother.
And it's impossible to look away from every time. But there's still just something about the way Miss Ohio's eyes go dead behind her fake smile whenever Roxy talks. Almost like she's warging into the doll, but more likely because she can't smile with her eyes and talk through her teeth at the same time. Down south, that's just how pretty girls talk shit, but all right, Ohio.
Bigger than Jersey Shore? I don't know.
And yet, Mackenzie Bart was able to ride that crazy train to victory and win the talent portion of the 2014 Miss America pageant while losing the overall competition. Probably the judge's way of saying, look, we admire your moxie, kid, but it's hard enough to watch these things without the f***ed up childhood you must have had flashing through our minds. Bringing a dummy into it is just like a horror movie. But man, what a horror movie. To humans, a monkey doing anything, automatically hilarious. We've been trying to shoehorn them into every conceivable activity, occupation, xenophobic dessert menu for as long as we've had the ability to share photographs with each other. Look at him, he thinks he's a baseball player. Monkeys apparently understand their role in the universe as the garnish of instant hilarity and have taken it upon themselves to start riding pigs like little horses. Given our history of putting monkeys in humiliating situations, it was just a matter of time until we tried this, but what's weird is that there seems to be some kind of like natural, almost magnetic bond between monkeys and pigs. This one seems kind of emotional and one-sided. The pig doesn't care, but when it gets knocked off, the monkey flips the out. Of course, people wouldn't be people unless we were exploiting this natural synergy to our advantage, so here's a video of a bunch of guys throwing baboons at wild pigs. It's unclear whether the baboons are wrestling the pigs to wear them down or whispering demoralizing truths about the meaninglessness of existence into their ears.
Don't get too close to someone. Never know what might happen.
But I guess it's kind of working. Still, it seems like the humans are doing the majority of the work, but hey, any excuse to throw monkeys at pigs, right? Hey guys, right before we shot this, we realized we left Sirs Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart off the list. Are there any other things that we left off? You can tell us down in the comments. You know how this works. Make me feel bad about myself. Thanks for watching.